Greetings, dear viewers. Today we are going to take a fascinating journey through the history of one of the most iconic cars, the Shelby Mustang GT350. April 17, 1964 witnessed a historic event in the American automotive market, the debut of one of Ford's most successful post-war models, the Mustang. This compact car was an instant hit, breaking the 100,000 sales mark in just 4 months, instead of the expected 12 months of production. Less than 2 years later, the Ford Mustang's circulation exceeded 1 million copies. Attractive design, moderate dimensions, comfortable interior, economy, and impressive dynamic characteristics, all this rested on the basis of a moderate price of $2,368. However, in the face of fierce competition, these advantages were not enough for a long lead. Lee Iacocca, the initiator of Mustang's creation, realized this and decided to use a proven way of creating an image: active participation in sporting events. The choice fell on Carroll Shelby, whose Cobra had already gained widespread popularity in the automotive world. To participate in the Sport Car Club of America races, the Mustang had to become a two-seater. According to the rules, it was allowed to use a modified engine and modified suspension. The director of the Shelby American Sports Division, Ken Miles, began by preparing 2 examples of the race version, trying not to complicate the design of the standard Mustang to avoid possible problems in the small-scale production of Shelby Mustang modifications. With Ford's 305-horsepower V8 engine already well proven on the track, Mr. Miles focused on the suspension. The production car had a distinct oversteer known as understeer. To solve this problem, they changed the mounting of the upper arms of the front suspension and installed a heavy-duty stabilizer bar. The rear suspension utilized reaction rods to provide control of the tremendous traction. Efficient Coney shock absorbers and front disc brakes completed the picture. In late 1964, 95 examples of the racing Mustang, assembled at Shelby American's San Jose, California facility, were submitted for SCCA inspection. The car's paint job was not controversial at Ford, but the issue of its designation led to a heated debate. At one meeting with Ford Motor Company executives, Carroll Shelby asked Vice President Phil Remington about the distance from their assembly plant to the race car finishing shop. "About 350 feet, the colleague replied. "Okay, that's how we'll call it the GT350, Mr. Shelby exclaimed. Unlike the race version of the GT350R, the GT350 for sale was to be powered by a more modest 270 horsepower 8. However, its potential was clearly not enough for such an ambitious model. To increase power, a new intake pipe, 4-chamber Holley carburetor, and a number of strong special units were installed. As a result, the engine's output rose to 306 horsepower. This required the use of a larger cooling system radiator and a larger oil sump. All this was supposed to be optional, while a fiberglass hood with an air intake and elements of fixing the opening panels were standard. All this, combined with the elimination of the rear seat, resulted in a significantly lighter vehicle. In general, the interior of the GT350 and 350R family retained the look of the production Mustang, but a number of characteristic elements left no doubt about the purpose of the striped cars. In the central part of the dashboard there was a tachometer calibrated to 8,000 RPM, adjacent to the oil pressure gauge. Both seats were equipped with wide racing-type seatbelts. GT350 test results once again confirmed the highest professionalism of Shelby American engineers in the field of creating sports models. Acceleration to 60 and 100 miles per hour was less than 7.9 seconds, respectively. Maximum speed at a distance of a quarter mile reached 97 kilometers per hour. The Mustang Shelby was inferior to models with larger displacement engines, but the GT350 was the leader among its classmates. The racing version of the GT350R won the SCCA National Championship in Class B during the 1965-67 seasons. The success of the Shelby Mustang GT350R immediately accelerated sales of the production Mustang and GT350, with sales totaling 5,002 in 1965. The following year, Carroll Shelby's business took a sharp upturn, with 2,383 copies sold. The result of 1967 was even more impressive, 3,225 cars. By that time, some changes were made in the design, such as installation of an exhaust system, the exhaust pipes of which are not in front of the rear wheels, but on the bottom of the trunk. The list of innovations included automatic transmission. Now a rear seat was installed for an extra charge, although it was not very comfortable. In the range of body enamels there were red, green, blue, and even black colors. In April 1967, the GT350 was presented, equipped with a 390 horsepower V8 engine with a compressor. Thus, in the course of evolution, the racing car, figuratively speaking, from a wild burrowing horse, requiring the highest skill of the rider, turned into a thoroughbred stallion.